This session is based on my experience with a few places where English was not allowed or people couldn't understand it. So this experience was first in Malaysia, Penang. I land up really happy. I show up in the class, I put up all my backlog, I say welcome to the class, and around 15 people are looking like suspiciously at me. And then I learned out that they only knew Chinese. Only I knew English and one more person knew English. So the next of the 2 days was spent acting and drawing the CSM class. The second time was a guy in India who only knew Hindi and he was trying to learn CSM few times. So I used pictures. So I always imagine, what if we just don't talk? We just draw. And so I'm going to draw something called CSM in pictures. So next few minutes I will not talk anything and hopefully see if I can cover the entire CSM course of 2 days in 7 minutes in pictures. Okay. Now I don't know if it's possible, but bear with me. I'm doing it like the 4th time or something, so I don't really know exactly. So I'll be silent.
Can you change pens? Something that right. Okay.
questions. That is CSM Class.
What's Beer City?
Portland.
Oh, okay.
But notice, was it any different from your experience of listening versus seeing?
Yes.
And you can.
Well, I was gonna say, so if I mean, if you did you do this exactly with the folks who didn't speak English?
I do this now in the US classes too.
Okay, well, right.
So this is now what I do.
It's in English.
Oh yeah, I no, I know. But
Yeah.
this is what I do now. All my classes here is
Yeah.
they actually draw pictures, and they are able to. But this in Penang, it was not this. We didn't have all these things. We were showing things and acting it out, and Scrum Master and push somebody and then they pull someone. So it was more of acting. I got the Scrum Guide in Mandarin. But then, but what I've realized is us talking brings in a lot of unnecessary things that we may want to go by. So on day 2 of the class, I always start with imagine and redraw your day 1. So people will group into 2 sides, and all I do is I'll ask questions. So I'd say, what is Agile? And both the sides will draw whatever they think is Agile, based on the first day stuff. Then I'll say, well, now what is Scrum? And they will say, so then I don't give my comments on if they're doing it right or wrong. So essentially both sides will create pictures of the day 1, and then they look back and they compare notes. So what has been more fun now is to let people learn by themselves, and I only correct things if they're completely wrong in the end, but if they're just a little bit here and there, I just don't want them. So use more visuals rather than talk. The talk comes in the way.
So build your own Scrum exercise does pretty much that same philosophy,
Yeah.
but it gives you the cutouts instead of necessarily
Cutouts is
drawing.
fun, but building your own Scrum has things which are a little outdated now. Those
Yeah.
things don't matter anymore. But if you ask them to do their own Scrum, I find a lot more benefit. Like they could write their own cards, and they relate a lot somehow to their own writing, rather than I giving them a build. I used to give them build their own Scrum, but I've stopped them now because people like to write their own columns and talk about it.
Thank you.
Cool.